Hello everyone, Samantha here, Youth Services Assistant with the library, and I'm coming to you to show you two science experiments that you can do at home. So I am at home and I am trying them out. Full disclaimer, this is my first time trying them, so if it doesn't work, you'll see it with me that it didn't work, but they were science experiments that I found from the Tell Us World of Science in Edmonton. So if my version doesn't work, I'll link those in the video description and you can see if you can try it successfully at home. So the first one we're going to do is called Defying Gravity. So for this one, you're going to need a cup. I'm going to fill my cup about half full with water here. So when we have our cup and it's half full of water, and if we turn it over, what's going to happen? Yes, all the water is going to pour out. So I'm going to fill it up again. And this time we're going to see if when we turn the cup of water over, we're going to see if the water comes out. And you're like, Sam, you literally just did that. It came out. Well, this time we're going to use a piece of construction paper. And we're going to put the construction paper on top of the cup here. And I'm sealing my hand over top of it. Okay, and now we're going to flip it. Do you think it's going to cut out? Okay, now's the real test. I have to take my hand away. It worked! Oh my goodness, I did not think it would work. Okay, so did you guys see this? So there is an air bubble now at the top, and all the water is over here. Oh my goodness! I honestly didn't think that would work. So this was just a piece of construction paper. As you can see though, it's getting wet, so we're gonna let the water go. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited now. Okay, so that was construction paper. I've got a few more options here as well. Okay, so the next option I have is a piece of cardstock. So, again, let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to seal the paper over top, squish my hand down nice and hard. Okay, turning it over, and here's the test. Is this one going to work? Ah, guys, it worked again! Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got another air bubble at the top there. And the water is not coming out. We are defying gravity. Look at that. Oh, I'm shaking and it's still not coming. Ah! Okay. Alright. One more paper that I've got. Or sort of a paper. A little bit more. Let's try and fill it. Okay. So I filled my cup even more full this time. It's about 3/4 full. Let's see if this still works. So I've got even a thicker kind of paper-esque sort of thing. So this is from a file folder. So I wonder if it's going to work now that it's more than half full, or if the pressure is going to be too much. So let's try it out here. Okay, we're ready to let go. Ah, it still worked. Oops. Now we know, only fill it half full or it's going to come loose even quicker. And friends, that is why we do this experiment over the sink, because otherwise you would be completely covered in water. Okay, so that experiment was called Defying Gravity. So this next one that I have is called Bouncy Egg. So again, we're going to need a cup, we're going to need an egg, and we're going to need some vinegar. So, what you have to do with your egg is you have to very gently put it in the cup. So I'm going to kind of slide it in on the side here and tip it over. Okay. And then we are going to fill the cup with vinegar. Alright, and now we're done. Just kidding. Okay. This experiment requires a lot of patience. So this experiment is going to require 24 hours. So I'm going to come back in this video tomorrow and we're going to see what is happening with our egg and our cup of vinegar. see if anything's changed, and if it has or hasn't, we'll find out what it is. I'll give you a hint. This is called Bouncy Egg. Any ideas what's going to happen? See you in 24 hours. Alright everyone, so it has been 24 hours, or 25 probably now, since we put our egg in our cup of vinegar, and right now I've got like a frothy kind of top, bubbly kind of top, and I've got my egg right here. Ooh, it feels funny. Okay, so we're going to take the egg out, so I'm going to gently pour the vinegar out. Okay, and now what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to kind of rub the egg, and the shell is supposed to come off, and it does. So you can't really see, but I got a little kind of part free with the shell. If you have your egg right now and you're feeling it, it's going to feel pretty squishy. Like, it's not going to feel like that hard shell like you would usually get. Alright, so the other suggestion was to kind of wash it so it would come off with water. I'm a little nervous though because I still feel a little portion of the shell, which makes me think that my cup of vinegar wasn't full enough and I should have made it fuller. So let's see here. Let's try to wash it off. Okay, so this was an experiment that did not work for Sam. So as I said, I could still feel a little bit of the shell on my egg. So when I kind of tried to like rub that off, it didn't, and my egg is now in my hand. So that didn't work, but it says it's supposed to work. I've seen someone else do it before. So, my suggestion for you, I'm gonna put that egg just down for now. So my suggestion for you would be to make sure you fill your cup with vinegar all the way to the top so that the egg is gonna be fully submerged in there. And then if after 24 hours your egg does not feel like it feels like there's still some shell in it, leave it for a little bit longer, maybe leave it for another 24 hours to see if that's going to come all the way off. And if it does, if you were more successful than I was, then you're going to want to try to bounce your egg from maybe an inch off the counter, and then maybe you're going to try and go up 2 inches and see how much it bounces. But make sure you can do this somewhere that you could potentially have a little bit of a mess, just in case that doesn't actually work for you like mine did and I had a broken egg. So try it out at home, see if it works. Let me know if it does work for you or if it doesn't work for you and you end up with an egg in your hands as well. Okay? So next up you're going to see a video from Sharon. She's going to do some science with you guys as well. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, Sharon here from the Owen Sound in North Grey Union Public Library Youth Services Department with some science experiments. So I was just watching Sam's experiments and they were super cool, and I was really hoping that egg was going to work. So maybe she'll try it again, because that's what science is all about, isn't it? Experimenting. And that's what I'm going to do today. I have 3 different types of lava lamps that I want to try to make and see which one works the best. And lava lamp was really popular in the 1970s. It's like a light filled with water and there's like an oily substance that moves around inside it. Really cool to watch. So I'm going to try that, and the second experiment I'm going to do is using popcorn. So each experiment that I'm doing today, I'm just using regular household ingredients. I didn't actually have to buy anything special. That's what's fun about kitchen science. So if you decide that you want to try any of these experiments, it's really important that you ask a grown-up to give you a hand. All right, let's do it. For the first lava lamp, I'm going to need a glass or jar, some cooking oil, water, food coloring, and an Alka-Seltzer tablet. What you're going to do is put a couple of drops of food coloring into the water. And then we're going to take the Alka-Seltzer and break it up into some little bits. I'm going to fill this jar 3/4 of the way full of cooking oil. So now I'm going to pour the colored water into the jar with the oil. And because water is more dense, like it weighs more than oil, it sort of separates. So now I'm going to plop the Alka-Seltzer in there and see what happens. That is pretty cool. Very cool lava lamp. See if I can put another one in there.
So the Alka-Seltzer tablet is reacting with the water to make bubbles or gas of carbon dioxide, and these bubbles are attaching themselves to the blobs of colored water and bringing them to the top of the jar.
All right, the second lava lamp I'm going to make, you need 2/3 of a glass of water, some cooking oil, salt, and food coloring. First thing I'm going to do is add the food coloring. Now you don't want to make it too dark because you want to be able to see the bubbles. I'm just going to put 1 drop of. So then I'm going to fill with oil until it gets to about just an inch from the top. So see how the oil is floating on top of the water? That's because it's lighter or less dense than the water, so it rises to the surface. Now, I'm going to put some salt in, and salt is heavier or more dense than water, so it's going to sink to the bottom. So I'm just going to pour in a little bit at a time. See what happens. Now this one I was told that it doesn't last quite as long as the other one, so we might have to put some more salt in. Oh, but you can see the bubbles coming up. It's more calming. Now, just like Sam, I have not tried these ahead of time, so this is really fun, kind of experimenting with that. See how heavy the salt, it just clunks right to the bottom. And so the oil is making its way back up to the top because it attached itself to the salt when salt was poured in there. So for this final lava lamp experiment, you will need some cooking oil, vinegar, food coloring, a tall glass, a small cup, a spoon, and some baking soda. So the first thing you're going to do is put some baking soda, 3 teaspoons, into the bottom of your glass. Not exact science, not exact. Pour some vinegar into the cup because you're going to mix it with the food coloring before you add it. I just put a couple of drops in there. And you're going to take your oil and pour it over top of the baking soda. And I'm going to fill the glass about half full. So now I'm going to pour or drop the vinegar into the oil. Now, and vinegar, because it's more dense than the oil, it's going to sink to the bottom, and let's see what happens.
And you can see that the vinegar, when it touches the bottom where the baking soda is, it reacts and creates bubbling carbon dioxide, which causes like the little explosions.
That's pretty crazy. That's a really nice design. I like that one. So let's get all of them here again. Wow, that's really going good. Which one do you like the best? So for our final experiment with that popping corn, you will need a half a glass of water, half a cup of vinegar, a handful of popping corn, and 1 tablespoon of baking soda. This experiment, they actually recommend that you put your glass on a tray. So I'm just putting it in a pie plate. I've got my water, and I'm going to take a handful of popcorn. You see how it sinks to the bottom? Now I'm going to pour in my half a cup of vinegar. It's not really doing anything. Oh yes, we still have to add the tablespoon of baking soda. All right, are you ready? I see why they want, you need something to put it in. Now watch the corn. Hey, that's pretty cool. So when you add these two substances together, the vinegar and the baking soda, they create millions of tiny particles, which is carbon dioxide gas that's trapped under the popcorn, and it pushes the popcorn up to the top. So thanks for checking out our science experiments today. I hope you had fun. And remember, if you're going to try any of these at home, please make sure you have a grown-up with you. Enjoy the rest of your summer.